It's been a little while since I've made a video. I know that I've been kind of going through my own kind of a short hermit phase the last few weeks, really doing some deep diving and going within and reflecting on some things, reflecting on how I want to move forward on my journey. What are some of the things that I'm manifesting and desiring? And how do I truly want to continue down my path in regards to like the things that bring me joy and happiness? Just like a seed goes underground before it bursts and kind of goes into that darkness, we can go through those times as well. So whether you've come through one of those kind of darker periods of that inner looking and a little bit of that hermit phase, or you find yourself on the other side of that like me right now, stick around. Watch this video. Let's talk about what it takes to support the bloom season inside of you. I found myself really inspired this afternoon. I just finished up an event here for the Solstice celebration at a place here in Atlanta called the Well of Roswell. And we all kind of came together in this group and a really beautiful community, and we did a shamanic journey. And if you don't know what a shamanic journey is, it's basically a really deep guided meditation that I lead people on, kind of a visual journey of what spirit wants us to know, for this time and place. Today it was really beautiful because the spirit of the rose came in. And it was all about how we kind of support our season of bloom within ourselves. When I reflect back on the time that I spent in the landscape industry, I had the beautiful opportunity to kind of study and learn all sorts of things when it came to plant and tree development. It's, I feel a breadcrumb on where it kind of led me on my shamanic path and my deep connection with nature. And I was remembering the times that I would walk through the greenhouses, and sometimes I would get to go to these really spectacular growing facilities where there would just be hundreds of acres of these, greenhouses and hoop houses that were supporting and holding all of these beautiful plants. Anything that you could possibly think of could be grown in these places. In some of these houses, it would be a certain variety of plant and it would be in a certain temperature and it had certain requirements. And then you might move to a different house and it would have a different temperature and requirements. It was all about what those plants needed to best support their growth, their roots, and eventually their bloom. Our spiritual journey can be a lot like this too. How do you support your bloom? We were given this beautiful message of how nature supports the rose plant as it grows. What does a rose need or any flower need to adequately bloom? It needs plenty of water, plenty of light. It needs the air around us, and it needs to be rooted in the earth. If we are expecting and wanting and manifesting our greatest dreams to come true, to come to fruition and bloom, wisdom tells us that we must treat ourselves the same way with that care. How can you support your body, your energy, your thoughts, and your feelings as you set your intentions for the energy of summer, this time of wild growth and expansion? It requires us to go within much like I just did over the last few weeks or so, to really observe what it is that I need. What it is that I need in all of these places of physical, spiritual, mental, and emotional support to best bring my dreams and my visions to life. You know, the energies this time of year support this. It requires us, though, to do our part. There's many times that we can kind of fall back into this place. I know I can, to where I'm really wanting and desiring something, and I don't know what action to take. Or maybe I'm, a little bit burnt out or fatigued or tired, and I find myself waiting. When you find yourself in this kind of gap time from where the place that you set your intentions to the bloom, what are you doing in that space? How are you loving you in that space? Sometimes there might not be a direct action to take in regards to chasing your dream. Because sometimes I know can get kind of over controlling and be this active doer when it comes to trying to make things happen. And sometimes the thing that you need to make happen is actually just like providing the support system like the greenhouses do. You see, these greenhouses, they are literally down to a science. They're on watering schedules. They have light requirements, heat requirements, soil requirements. Everything is measured to an exact thing to maximize the deepest potential, the biggest potential of bloom for flowers. What is it that you need to be able to maximize your greatest potential, to support your manifestations and dreams, your goals? It is a beautiful experience. It's probably one of the most rewarding things here on earth when we have a vision or a dream or a goal and we meet that goal, or the manifestation comes into the physical form. Oftentimes, though, we forget about the middle. This is what the energy of this time of year from spring to summer, that switching over, asks us, is to connect to the space within. Because I bet if you remembered and reflected, anytime you accomplish something, in the moment that that thing happened, you celebrated, you were joyful. And also, I bet you told the story about how you got there. You remember those moments when you were like, dang, I didn't think it was going to happen. It was so close. Or you remember the people on your journey that supported you. Maybe the all-nighters that you pulled, or the creative sessions that you had, or those moments with spirit where you could feel the energy like flowing through you with that divine inspiration. Our minds can get really attached to the bloom and forget about the middle. This middle place where you learn more about yourself through every second. How you find the things that you needed that you didn't even know that you needed. The small adjustments in your life that just automatically kind of catapult you to the next stage. When we talk about creativity, there's all these things from A to Z. And no matter what you're creating, because that is manifestation, the joy and the wonder and the true exhilaration is found over the distance of the whole journey. it's really easy to want to focus on that outcome and force it, to control it. What if you were meant to flow towards it? If you found yourself, if we talk about the rhythm and the flow of life, if you found yourself in a river, in a stream, are you holding on to obstacles in the river and rocks? Are you carrying too much with you in your raft, weighing you down? Do you have all the things you need on your journey to support your trip down the river? Do you get out and try to swim back upstream? How you stay and connect in that flow is important. What you learn and experience as you flow down the river are the memories that you make, the experiences that you'll cherish. I know when I've done things in my life, I don't just remember the moment that I got somewhere. I remember all the wonderful things that happened on my way to there. How can you support your bloom? How are you supporting your emotional health and feeling your feelings, which be allowing the rain to fall upon you, but all plants need? How are you supporting that mental space, that air element of your thoughts? Are your thoughts kind and loving? How do your thoughts make you feel? Are you taking care of your physical body and grounding into the earth through some sort of practice, being out in nature or with rest or sleeping or exercise? How are you supporting that grounded energy? And then how are you feeding that passion? How are you connecting to that fire within of your dreams? How are you bringing your wishes, your dreams into the light of the sun to be experienced? When we look at manifestation as just one thing getting to a goal, we lose the message of the whole point. That you landed on this earth to remember how powerful, and that you're a co-creator of your own reality. So as we connect to this energy of the rose, which to us today felt very powerful and feminine. And as many of you know, the feminine energy is carried in the bodies of women and men, or however you identify. It's an energy. How can you embody this energy, this feminine energy of creation in this time of spring and summer, as we fold into times of expansion and blooming? How do you connect to everybody today kind of said what they thought it felt like to them? Compassion, softness, bold, and fierce. This is how they felt rose energy spoke to them today. So as you move through the season of summer, how can you be bold and fierce, soft and compassionate with the you that is co-creating everything in your reality? If you'd like to spend a little bit of time, you can book a session with me at jenhuber.com. We can kind of tap into some of these dreams that you might have, some of your goals, and find your specific needs for you on how you can support your bloom. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, share it with a friend, hit the like and subscribe. It's an honor to have you here with me on this journey, and I'll see you next time.